and Chukker. Great Chukker of polo there. Big improvement for the Newport team, but they're going to need a little more than that if they plan to win this game. One's game. The second Chukker ended with a goal, and the teams did not have time to line up and get the ball thrown in, so we will start this Chukker with a throw-in at the center. The ball's in play. Dan Keating with the ball. Dan can't hold on to it. Jim DeAngelis backing him up. Jim taking his time, waiting for his players to get into position. Jim sends a nice pass upfield to Dan Keating, but John Wigdall is there. Very solid at the back position today, John Wigdall. Minnie Keating with a back shot right to the mouth of her father, Dan Keating. Dan Keating bringing the ball through the goal. Beautiful father-daughter play. Players at the center of the field, and the shot hits it to John Wigdall, who passes it to C.B. Shearer. That's one place I think the Newport team should try to keep the ball away from. That's the mallet of C.B. Shearer. C.B. rides over it. Jim DeAngelis turns the ball nicely. Jim taking his time, waiting for his teammates, sends a pass up to Minnie. Can he get it to her? No, he can't. Marcelo Cabeza with a beautiful near side back shot. John Wigdall on the line. John waiting for the ball to settle. John with a nice hit. John hooked off the play by Dan Keating. C.B. Shearer backing up Wigdall. C.B. misses the ball there. Oh my God. There's a whistle on the play. Jim DeAngelis comes off his horse. He appears to be a bit upset. All right, it looks like Jim DeAngelis is back on his horse. Let's hear it for Jim DeAngelis. And it looks like the umpires are going to throw the ball in. I believe there was a foul against the blue team, but due to an unsportsmanlike conduct foul, the call was offsetting fouls, and the ball is thrown in. And Jim DeAngelis with the ball. Jim with a back shot to Dan Keating. The ball takes a bad bounce. Marcelo Cabeza. Marcelo Cabeza on the ball, ridden off by David Bullis. Near side back shot to John Wigdall, rides over it. Dan Keating on the ball. John Wigdall there, near side back. Jim DeAngelis turns on the ball and backs it to the center of the field. Minnie Keating picking it up. Minnie Keating working her way down the field. Minnie Keating really stretching out and moving that horse. Stops it short of the end line. John Wigdall with a back shot. And Jim DeAngelis. Jim DeAngelis controlling the ball. Carrying the ball slowly. Controlled to goal. Tap neck shot and puts it through the goal. Jim DeAngelis. Difference now. Jim bounces out to Dan Keating. Dan with a nice hit towards goal. Dan by himself. Now C.B. Shearer reaching for the hook. Marcelo Cabeza with a near side back shot. Jim DeAngelis on the ball. Jim turning the ball. Ridden hard by John Wigdall. Dan Keating backing them up. Dan pushing towards goal. The ball bounces. Minnie Keating with a small back shot to Dave Bullis. Dave cutting it back open towards goal. Stopping just short of the line. Dan trying to put it in. And backed up by Minnie Keating, who puts the ball through. Tying the score up 5-5. Let's hear it for Newport. What a comeback. What a game we have today. Newport fighting hard, coming back. All tied up. Umpire Dave Markell lining up the players, and the ball's in play. Aga Morgan working the ball out of the throw-in. David Bullis with the ball. David pushing it towards the goal. Ridden hard by John Wigdahl. C.B. Shearer with a nice small back shot. Picked up by Minnie Keating. And there's a whistle on the play. Let's see what the umpires call here. Looks like it's going to be a penalty in favor of the Newport team. Because of the location of that infraction, it's going to be a penalty number 3, which is an undefended hit to goal. Great opportunity for Newport to take their first lead of the game. Looks like Jim DeAngelis is teeing the ball up for the hit. This is a 40-yard hit to an undefended goal. Jim DeAngelis sends the ball right through the middle of the goal. And Newport now in the lead for the first time. Newport. And the ball is thrown into play. Palm Beach comes out with it. John Wigdahl. John with the ball. Dan Keating comes up and takes it on the near side. Dan turning the ball. Dan hitting the ball to goal. Ridden off by John Wigdahl, who makes a back shot. Picked up by David Bullis. Bullis with a next shot to Jim DeAngelis, who sends it through the goal again. 2-goal lead for Newport now. Exactly what Jim DeAngelis needed. And the ball's popped high into the air. David Bullis on the ball. David alone. Bouncing ball. Can he do it? No. He rides over it. Cabeza. Marcelo Cabeza with a nice back shot to John Wigdahl. Wigdahl leaving it for Shearer. Shearer back to Wigdahl. Wigdahl marked by Minnie Keating. Leaves the ball. David Bullis with a tail shot to Dan Keating. Dan Keating bringing the ball marked by Marcelo Cabeza with a near side back. Jim DeAngelis hits it back up to Keating. Keating in front of the goal, bringing it to the goal. Can he put another one through? No. Beautiful defensive play by C.B. Shearer. Hits the goalpost. The ball is still in play. Minnie Keating swoops in. And the ball's put through the goal by Dan Keating. And that will end the third Chukker. That ends the third Chukker. We will now have a halftime intermission.